Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to improve our geometry skill. Today is our lesson number 7, day number 7. Today we'll talk about concept of a 3, 4, 5 triangle. What is a 3, 4, 5 triangle? A 3, 4, 5 triangle, the so-called 3, 4, 5 triangle, first of all it's a right angle triangle, is a very special kind of triangle. Why? Why is it a very special kind of triangle? Because it is a fluke of nature, and I'll explain that in a second why. He is a freak. Why is he a freak? Because it is, well, I shouldn't say he because it's it actually, but you get the idea. It is the only right angle triangle where the three sides happen to be 3 consecutive integers. In other words, there is no such thing as 4, 5, 6 triangle, or 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 triangle, or 12, 13, 14 triangle for that matter. This is a symbol for triangle. There is only 3, 4, 5 triangle, that's it. There is only one right angle triangle that nature created where the three sides happen to be 3 consecutive numbers. Right here. It has to be a right angle triangle. It has to be a right angle triangle. 3, 4, and then this side, missing side here, how do we find that out? By using the Pythagorean theorem. Let's call this x. So your x would be, x squared would be 3 squared plus 4 squared. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16, giving you a total of 25. And if x squared equals 25, then x would equal 5. You see, 3, 4, and 5. There is no such thing as 4, 5, 6. It won't work. If you try it, it won't work. You see, 4 squared plus 5 squared. 4 squared is 20. 5 squared is 25. 20 plus 25 is 45. Which does not equal 6 squared. You see, 4 squared plus 5 squared does not equal 6 squared. There is no such thing as 4, 5, 6 triangle. There is no such thing as 8, 7, 8, 9 triangle. 7 squared plus 8 squared does not equal 9 squared. In other words, if you were to draw a straight line down 7 inches long and draw another one 8 inches long, 7 inches long and 8 inches long, if you connect from here to here, you will find that it is more than 9 inches. It's not going to be exactly 9 inches. But here, if you were to draw one line at 3 inches long, do it out, write out on a piece of paper. And another vertical line 4 inches long, or the other way around. You can make this 3 inches and that 4 inches. And then if you were to join this point to this point, you will see, as long as you have a perfect perpendicular, you will see that this distance from here to here is going to be exactly 5 inches. It is the only, I'm going to repeat myself, it is the only right angle triangle where the three sides just happen to be three consecutive integers, which is why it is treated as such a special triangle. It's called 3, 4, 5 triangle, a special right angle triangle sometimes it's called. There is no such thing as 12, 13, 14, it won't work. But, here's the but part. Before I do the but part, let me read this one more time before I erase the top part. So what's the 3, 4, 5 triangle? A 3, 4, 5 triangle is a right angle triangle. A 3, 4, triangle is a right angle triangle. A 3, 4, 5 right angle triangle is it's a very special kind of triangle. Why is it very special? Because it's a fluke. It's just a coincidence. It's just he's a freak of nature. Excuse me. It's just a fluke. It's just a coincidence where the three sides happen to be three consecutive integers. It never happens again. This is the only right angle triangle that nature created where you're going to find three consecutive integers, a 3 and a 4 and a 5. You got it? Here's the but part. The only reason I was covering this topic was not because of what I've done so far. You already knew all of this thing probably. The reason I wanted to cover this video or this topic is because of the part that is coming up, which is the but part. But, just excuse me for a second. I need to take a step. But when 3, 4, 5 triangle does appear on the exam, but when 3, 4, 5 triangle does appear on the exam, it does so incognito. It does so incognito. What does incognito mean? And for those of you who have been watching my videos on vocabulary, you probably already know what incognito means because I covered this word, I know that. When did we cover the word incognito? I'm looking at my list here, just give me 1 second and I'll find it. Day number 42. I'm going to put it right here. Well, I shouldn't put it right here because that's going to confuse you. Just type in Keshwani Prep -vocab day 42 and you will learn this word incognito. It means in disguise. In disguise. In other words, a 3, 4, 5 triangle does not appear in the exam. In other words, they're not going to ask you a simple question like, they're not in the exam. You're never going to find questions where they're going to give you this side and ask you how much is that side, or they're going to give you these two sides and ask you how much is that side. It's just too simple. This should be 4. It'll be too simple. It's not going to appear like that. A 3, 4, 5 triangle does not appear announcing to the world, here I am, 3, 4, 5 triangle. What's the missing side? That's too simple. When it does appear on the exam, he appears incognito. But if you can recognize it, if you can recognize him, you will save yourself a lot of trouble. A lot of time you can save yourself. Let's take an example of what I'm talking about, okay? I need the room, so I need to erase everything. I'll give you an example to make you understand. We're given a circle. Here's an example. We're given a circle with a center O. A circle with a center O has a radius of 10. The question is, what is the perimeter of triangle ABC? Let's take a look at it. Here is your circle that is given. Here is the center. A to B is shown as a diameter. And then they give you something like this. And we are told that this is the right angle. And this is your C. And we are also told that A to C, we are told, is 16. So this 16 part actually appears in the picture. It does not. We are not told that here, but it appears in the picture. What we are not told in the picture is this part right here. We have a circle with the center O. And we are told it has a radius of 10. The question simply is, what's the perimeter of this triangle ABC? I want you to pause the video at this point. Pause it for a second. Do it out yourself any which way that you want to do it. Do it out. Listen to me. Pause the video. Do it out. And once you have done it, you can resume the video and just listen and do it with me. Okay? Do it again with me. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to pause and unpause. Alright, here's what's going on. We know that the radius is 10. If the radius is 10, then from A to O is 10. And we know that from O to B is also 10. In other words, from A to B is 20. So I'm going to redraw this triangle here. Here's your right angle triangle, which is right here at point C. There's your point B. We know that A to B, which is the hypotenuse facing the right angle, is 20. We just found it. We are told that A to C is 16, we are told. The question simply was, what's the perimeter of this thing? And if you were sitting there, you have two options. You can actually do the Pythagorean theorem, which is, you take the square of the hypotenuse, which is 20 squared, equals the square of this thing, 16 squared, plus, let's call it x squared. And you can do all of this thing. X squared would be 400 minus the 16 squared, which is 400 minus 256. 400 minus 256. You could do all of this thing. Let's see what it gives you. It gives you 4. This 9 minus 5 is 4. So it looks like x squared is 144, and therefore x is 12. Now, if you did all of this, then you missed the whole bloody point. The whole point of what I'm trying to make here, which is when the 3, 4, 5 triangle does appear in the exam, it appears incognito. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Believe it or not, it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. How do we know it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle? Because this is 20, which is 4 times 5. This is 16, which is 4 times 4, which is 4 times 4. Well, I see a multiple of 4 here. I see a 4 here, and I see a 4 here. Well, it should be 4 times 4. What the? 4 times 4. I see a 4 here, I see a 4 here. 4, this is a 4, this is a 5. This should be 3 times 4. Voila. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangles being multiplied 4 times. It's 4 times as large. You see? 3 times 4, 4 times 4, 5 times 4. That should be, 3 times 4. I'm circling the 4s in all different orders because these happen to be 4, not that it matters. 4 times 4, 3 times 4, and 5 times 4, if it makes it easier for you to see. 5 times 4. There you go. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangles being magnified 4 times the original size. That's all it is. And if you were quick enough to see that, there's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. This is 16, which is 4 times 4. This is 20, which is 5 times 4. Then this would have to be 3 times 4. 3, 4, 5. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And therefore the perimeter of this thing is very simple. You just add them up. Your 20, the hypotenuse, this side is 16, and this side is 12. The rest is very easy. Whatever that happens to be, 48. Question is, what's the perimeter of this thing? The answer is 48. But you didn't have to do any of this thing. You didn't have to do any of this thing if you were able to see that it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. All of this work that we did was all of this work we did was superfluous. And if you do not know what that word means, learn it. I did not say if you're interested you can learn it. I simply said learn it. There is no reason why you should not want to learn it. You are watching this video presumably because you are about to take SAT, GRE or GMAT. For any of these three exams you need two ingredients to do well. You need to have some basic knowledge of mathematics, which is why you're watching this geometry video, but you must also have a very good vocabulary to do well on the English portion. And my vocabulary video will help you improve your vocabulary. Superfluous was the word that I used, which was something that we learned on day number 47. Just type in vocab-47 and you will learn that word. Superfluous means that this word that we did there was unneeded. It was unwanted, it was unrequired, it was uncalled for. It was gratuitous. Oh, here's a good word, gratuitous. I won't go there because otherwise I will never stop. This will never end. I think when you learn the word superfluous, on the same day we learned the word gratuitous. So I won't go there right now. Yeah, same day. So when I give you a word, when I give you a day, watch that video because you're not just going to learn that particular word, but you're going to learn a whole bunch of other interesting words along with it. Anyway, as far as this problem is concerned, we are done. And this turns out to be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Let's do a couple of more examples of a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Now that you know the 3, 4, 5 triangle does not actually appear as a 3, 4, 5 triangle, it appears incognito. Now that you know that, let's do a couple of examples. I'm going to erase the thing because I need the room. Let's start with something very simple. Can you tell me what this side is? This is 6, this is 4. How much is that? Well, it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. You see? 3 times 2, 4 times 2. 3 times 2, 4 times 2. So this must be 5 times 2. Voila! And if you like it, I can verify it for you very quickly. Very quickly, I'm going to verify it. This is 6. 6 is squared. This is 8, which is 8 squared. 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64. And this gives you 100, which is your 10 squared right there, 10. So 10 squared equals 6 squared plus 8 squared. But we didn't have to do the hypotenuse, we didn't have to do the Pythagorean theorem because we were able to see right away. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle incognito. Let's do one more. We'll do a few more. How about this one? Can you tell me what this is? 35 and 28. How much is this guy? Yes? Well, 35 I see immediately is 7 times 5. Is this a multiple of 7? Yes, it is. It's 7 times 4. Well, if it's 7 times 4 and that's a 7 times 5, then this side, even though I show you as a long side, it turns out is only 3 times 7. There is your 3, 4, 5 triangle. Incognito. 3, 4, 5 triangle. It's the same triangle as the 3, 4, 5 triangle. What you're doing is, in the previous example, for example, in this one here, 6 and 8 and 10, what you're doing is, you're taking your 3, 4, 5 triangle on a piece of paper, you're turning it over on a Xerox machine, and you are magnifying it by 100%. In other words, the new copy that comes out of the machine is 200% of the original copy, but it's still the same triangle. Instead of a side that was 3 inches, because it's been magnified 100%, which means it's the 200% of the original size, therefore the original side which was 3 inches long appears now as 6 inches long. The original side which was 4 inches long on a piece of paper, the Xerox copy of it, when it's magnified by 100%, appears as 8 inches. And the hypotenuse which was 5 inches appears as 10 inches. It's the same triangle, been magnified. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, just twice the size, of twice the original size. And this guy is 7 times the original size. Let's do one more example. Something weird, something really kinky. How about 16 times root 7? 12 times root 7. How much would this guy be? Well, 16 times root 7 is just 4 times 4. This is 3 times 4. Here's my 3, here's my 4. So I need 5 times 4. 5 times 4, and then there is a root 7. So there you go. There is your answer. It's 20 times root 7, whatever that quantity happens to be. That's your hypotenuse right there. That's how quick it is. That's how simple it is. That was it. That was the end of our lesson on 3, 4, 5 triangle. So next time, hopefully, when you see a 3, 4, 5 triangle in the exam, you'll be able to recognize it. What I want to do tomorrow, let me quickly introduce the tomorrow's topic before I wind it up. I'm going to erase everything. I need the room. Tomorrow we'll talk about parallel lines. I'm going to quickly give you the little introduction as to where I'm going with it. Parallel lines being intersected by another line, something like this. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you have four angles. Here there are 4 more angles. There are 4 more angles, and there are 4 more angles here, and there are 4 more angles here. There are 20 different angles. The question is, which one equals which one? That's the question. Which angles equals which one? And we're going to learn that tomorrow under the topic of parallel lines. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, if you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, either face-to-face or over the internet via Skype, for SAT, GRE or GMAT, or Algebra, Geometry, Statistics, what have you, you can go to any of these website addresses and send me an email. Or you can go to keshwaniprep.com and send me an email from there. Alright? Thanks.